companies, right, have sort of released statements, right, around, Black Lives Matter. And I want to tell you this, it's really, really good to see, right? It's good to see that, companies are paying attention, that they recognize that they're not disconnected from the realities of their employees, right? And also that their employees are leaning in, therefore they need to lean in. But I'll tell you this, there's two types of companies that I'm seeing. The first is, there's companies who rushed out of the gate, right, to be an ally without actually understanding what it is. And my colleagues are using this language, right, that I'm sure folks on the phone or in the line have heard, performative allyship, right? For folks who don't know what that means, is it's performance-based. I want to be seen as, right? And, I go even a little bit further to say, not only do I want to be seen as, I want to make sure I don't get called out for not doing it, right? So once the statement goes, right, that's probably it. Or they give some money to a Black charity one time, right? They pledge to support NAACP, right? Or, Mental Health Alliance. I'm being facetious, but you get it, right? And then they stop. And then I say, well, but hold on one second. These companies, our companies, actually have a business imperative here. But some companies, company one, stay with CSR. This is a corporate social responsibility thing to do. Rather than, this is a business imperative. And the ones that stay just the CSR, they give some dollars to, nonprofits, which is incredibly important, and they should. But if you really stop for a moment and think about what is actually within your sphere of influence. So as a father of 3 kids, it is in my sphere of influence to make sure my 3 children are taken care of. So if today you hear that, kids are struggling to read and write, let's just say, and I donate to a reading or writing org, and my kids can't read and write, is that donation actually a thing? Or are you doing it to just make sure that you can talk about it in your newsletter? So the sphere of influence that every single company has right now is to attract, to hire, to retain, to promote Black professionals. That is in your sphere of influence. I can today say, I'm going to hire X amount of Black tech professionals. I can, because I have a company, I have the ability to do it, I can do it. So if you are not working within your sphere of influence, then I'm not sure you're not just, just doing lip service. So the second types of company are the ones that took their time a little bit and came out. So silence is not an option. But then beyond that, actually begun to talk about how they will work within their company. How will they hire? How will they promote? What is the percentage of Black tech talent? Do they even know? Or is it connected with people of color and they think they're in a good place? Right? What is the retention rate? Is it higher or lower than? These are some things, right, that companies now begin to look at, that begin to engage with, that begin to really build from. But that is the easy part. As a leader, Martin, you and I know this, we can, we don't want to be embarrassed, but we can throw a number at the wall pretty quickly. We're going to build a KPI for a team. You sort of, based on I think this is what we should do. That's pretty straightforward, right? Beyond, you don't want to be, embarrassed. Building a number is not hard. What is hard is doing. What is hard is doing things differently. What is hard is, if we known how to do this before, we would have done it. So if we just go back to the same drawing board we've gone back to with the same people, right? And our company has not looked externally to bring in people that understand, or our poor Black tech, professionals or Black professionals, they're bombarded. Our membership, there's people who have a very senior role, CIOs, CTOs, vice presidents, that still have to do their job and be the internal Black sponsor, a Black person that's supposed to know all things Black, as well as. That additional burden is not fair, because guess what? If their job that they get paid for slips, nobody's gonna think that, oh, you were spending 20% of your time every week doing this other thing, right? So when companies now build metrics and build goals and do not stop to go outside of what they've normally done, right? Then we begin to think about, is that company gonna be successful long-term, right? You have to do things differently. You have to think about it differently.